Everybody that's existing got a mind of their own. We're all kings and queens with a throne of our own. Trying to raise our families in a healthy home. We gotta learn to stick together, hate to be here alone. Cause the world is a place that will eat you alive in one day. Said the world is a place that you can't survive without faith.
Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around. Because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more war, and our children will pray. One day, one day, one day. It's not about win or lose, 'cause we all lose when they feed on the souls of the innocent. Blood-drenched pavement, keep on moving though the water stay raging. In this maze, you can lose your way, your way. It might drive you crazy, but don't let it freeze you, no way, no way.
Gotta hold on, live your life day by day. Gotta hold on, put your focus on that one day.
All my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more war, and our children will pray. One day, one day, one day. One day this all will change, treat people the same. Stop with the violence, down with the hate. One day we'll all be free and proud to be under the same sun, singing songs of freedom.
Gotta hold on, live your life day by day. Gotta hold on, put your focus on that one day.
All my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play. One day, one day, one
ما لقيت بلاصة نمشي نغمض فيها عينيا. ما لقيت صاحب واحد يعرف ما يرد عليا. ما لقيت موجة تبحر بيا لبعيد. النجم نحرق فيها إحساسي، ما لقيت عمرها حتى بلت تملالي كاسي، كاس اللي ما تلقى قطرة خير تعبيه. ما لقيت بلاصة نمشي نغمض فيها عينيا، ما لقيت صاحب واحد يعرف ما يرد عليا، ما لقيت موجة تبحر بيا لبعيد، ما لقيت أهلي، ما لقيت راحة، ما لقيت فرحة، ما لقيت طريقي، ما لقيت سنيتي، ما لقيت ناسي، ما لقيت أهلي، ما لقيت راحة، ما لقيت فرحة، ما لقيت طريقي، ما لقيت سنيتي.
Whoa! I came in hot. Unintentionally. Oh, that's funny. Shit, I should come in hot. Dude, today has been weird. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Maybe it's because my body. Hey. How's it going? M7.5 Drake Passage. Pretty stoked to check it out. This is my initial thought is, it's a similar magnitude to the first one. That was at Kamchatka. I think that was the day, the 20th. Cool. That's good. That's good. I saw a dermatologist. So there's that. Oh man. I don't know. I think that's part of it. I'm like a little worried. I'm like, oh. He's like, it's not, I don't think it's ringworms. I'm like, what? And then it like immediately takes a biopsy. Like fucking within a minute. I'm like, dude. And he's like, I think it's this thing. Ah, shit, man. Ultimately gave me like 3 things he was kind of thinking, but I'm waiting on a biopsy. But, it gave me some stuff. Fucking covered. It's fucking nasty. Like red dots. wherever my clothes is rubbing, I guess. I don't fuck. Anyway, not to talk about that, but that's going on too. It's a little concerning. I don't know. It's possible I have an infection, it sounds like, which I was thinking. I'm kind of been like, dude, I'm like, thank God this fucking doctor. The doctor walks in, he looks at me, he's like, who said this was ringworms? And got like pissed at the doctor that prescribed me ringworm medicine. I'm like, oh shit. Well, I kind of did. I kind of like told him, I think I told him I have ringworms. And the doctor at the urgent care like barely looked, and it looked like ringworms. It like totally looked like it. And he's like, okay, gives me some stuff and sends me on the way. But like really didn't look. So ultimately, like I kind of did it. I'm like, ah, shit, I probably influenced it too much. But he said it was something that's like super rare. I'm like, it sounds too rare. It's not like bad per se. Like it's bad, but it's not like bad. It's not like, I mean, it's more so bad in that it suggests a immune system issue related to an infection, which I may or may not have. I don't know. I certainly could. Like I am not like a 0% chance. So I'm like, well, maybe it's like good in the long term. It's like, okay, dude, you got a fucking infection. That's what's going on. Your body is like struggling, bruh. And let's deal with that. And it like fucking gets dealt with because it's been like a decade. It's been like the whole time I've been researching. I went to deal with what I think is the issue, like, and quit my job, like literally, and then never dealt with it. Now I'm like, shit, man. Okay, so what's up, guys? I see some people here. Pardon me, I'm talking about my health. It's a little surprising. I'm like, what the fuck? I turned 40 and it was like a fucking turned 40, dude. It was like all the things that could, like all this like energy that could get through, broke through at 40 almost, and like flooded. Oh fuck, man. Lots of thinking, but then before, I mean, I don't know if like this video might be not worth, like not good to show, but I saw this today. This is the most fucking despicable shit. I said, and this is kind of crazy actually. I mean, this must have been recent. This was at 10:16. Literally, like, while I'm watching this shit. This fucking earthquake goes off. And it is fucking, like, don't watch if you don't want to see it, is what like, if you don't want to see what's happening to children in Gaza. Oh my fucking god. But I feel like if I don't play it or save it somehow, it's gonna be deleted. And maybe my video gets deleted, but I'm thinking it goes under the radar. Especially without volume. Because it's just, I mean, the volume. Maybe I should, like, dude. Fucking. What the fuck? Okay, guys. Sorry, but this just needs documented and it's fucking. Look away if you don't want to see, I guess. But, like. This child's face is, like, gone. There's a fucking hand. Dude. Oh my, like, fucking, dude. That's fucking insane. This is happening after. Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for dropping in the comment. Cool to see you. Sorry, I don't know if this is like not your cup of tea per se. It's not many people's cups of tea to even like look at this, let alone, or maybe I don't know, but like this person is in like northern where they're like right now, like progressing. I'm like, dude, they're fucking out of their minds. I saw this and I was like, dude, she hasn't posted today. Like, this is where this shit is. Like, this person hasn't posted today, and then this happens. So it was just like, okay, good, she's alive. Like that. I'm literally like looking at people who I think are real people. I'm like, I think this one's real. I know a lot of them are fucking stealing accounts and posing as the people. It's fucking out of control to try to like get donations, which probably end up going to fucking Israel because they're like literally stealing their identities. Even then. Holy shit. That video is fucking like, and then this earthquake, I'm like, dude, I keep saying it, it's not Israel, it's Babylon. This shit is literally Babylon manifest of the book of Revelation, which according to the book of Revelation will pretty much be destroyed in an earthquake and a volcanic eruption type situation. I'm like, dude, Israel's in a danger zone. Israel is fucking Babylon. Like, here, I just was. There's apparently scientists who are saying, like, this whole area should be evacuated, like, now. Because they think Camp Flagree is about to blow. Not saying it will. It, like, probably will when fucking Israel gets wiped away. Because it's Babylon. When, like, innocent people have been able to get out of the way. Pretty much. That's like, and so then, anyway, so I'm looking at earthquakes in that regard. So like, it ties to that I see this thing and boom, earthquake, 7.5, which is immediately it comes to mind. Cool. Thanks for dropping in. Hopefully I'll talk a bit more subject matter here. I'm also a little high. Like, oh shit, here I go. I just fucking saw this earthquake. I was like, gotta stream. Oh, just like spur of the moment as fuck. Gotta kind of get into it a little. Oh shit. Anyway, let me do that though. So I should probably check it out on magnetic anomalies. And maybe check out this thread I posted in. Also, lots of cool shallogram stuff. But I posted about the earthquake. Oh my god, dude. I have no tissues and I'm freaking. Like these kids. The kids, all of them, they're all fucking, like, they're all in the same boat. Like, they're all probably, the adults are like 20s. The older adults are like 30s, 40s, very occasional older. It's like fucking all young people who are basically children who are getting bombed, who have grown up enough and not died yet to be like adults getting bombed. Oh my god. I guess they really didn't experience it like it is now until the false flag of October 7th was staged. Which it was. Just heads up if you don't know that. Sorry. Sorry for the information. It was a false flag. Look into it. I don't need to explain myself. Facts will be known. It was just an excuse. That's all it was. Okay, I named this kind of baity, honestly. I feel a little bad, especially because I was just like started talking about Israel, not earthquakes. So I could make an earthquake series. I mean Babylon. I say this to a lot of people online, and they're like, "What the fuck?" Probably they're probably like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, you shouldn't call it Israel when it's not Israel. It's actually Babylon. You should call it Babylon. If you call it Israel, you're actually supporting them in this. And I know you don't want to do that, right? Obviously not. So hopefully, like, people pick up on what I'm saying, but no one seems to want to. I think because it's like puts them out of the even if they like read it, assume they read it, which probably almost never happens. It like puts them out of the discussion in a way because they're talking about Babylon, and people don't see it as Babylon, but it fucking is. And it deserves to be called Babylon. They get mad, but let's start just fucking pointing to the Book of Revelation. Here, this is what's happening. You're Babylon, or maybe not you personally. I mean, I don't know what you've done in your life, what you support, and so on. If you live in the land, that doesn't, even if you're Jewish and born there or not born there. You may just be innocently following along and not really understand what the fuck is happening. Okay, let's find this earthquake. I feel they deserve the justice of me talking shit. And facts, not just shit, facts. Just bluntly about it. I mean, I got occasional episodes. Quetzal, baby. Quetzal. Done been representing. Quetzal been representing. What in the fuck? Oh, it's a fucking it's some video game reference. Holy shit. Quetzal bird caught in cage. These birds not known to often signifies a tragic situation for the bird. These birds are not known to thrive in captivity, with historical accounts suggesting they would even die when caged, leading them to become a traditional symbol of liberty in Mesoamerican cultures. This bird been representing since the beginning of time, pretty much been representing. But I got an episode on that. That's got some other shit. Anyway. Whew. I know. I'm not for most. I'm for truth seekers. 10:16. Let's find what I want to do is get the Kamchatka earthquakes in there. Let's say 6. Custom. Specifically the 7.4. Largest. See what else has been going on too. I just had the thought. I'm just like, That's crazy how many 6.0 pluses are here. So 7.4 is on the 20th. Sandpoint on the 16th. I'm trying to contemplate its role in this sequence of things. I feel kind of like off camera. Like leaning and shit. Like trying to be like engaging in my Streamlabs screen that's like where the chat is, but it's so far away. It's over. I can't even touch it. Oh no. Whoa, this episode's super slow, guys. Sorry. I'm like out of it. I swear, I'm fucking. It's like I'm so lost in thought in so many ways that it's getting like distracting in my every moment. Plus, I'm high a lot. But I was just observing that earlier. Like, fuck, man. I almost need to meditate. Like, how do I meditate? Sit down and fucking allow myself. That's funny, dude. That's funny. I was going to bring up this. But, like, allow myself to even like try to be thoughtless and not attentive to the fucking tyranny at hand. Perhaps that is the essence of submission in earnest. Submission being submission to God, to the will of God. Because it fucking sucks, like, getting bombed and be like, submission is the way. Like, it really makes me think of Wheel of Time. The Aiel, who were the way of the leaf, but they became the most fierce warriors living in the desert, waiting for the Karakorn, which is like the Muslim Mahdi. Shit, man. It's like the same shit. He definitely based it on prophecies and things. Wheel of Time. Which is cool. Never really looked into what exactly where he was coming from with all of it. Wheel of Time is super epic. Super epic. Okay. I'm so just kind of sitting here. Ah, shit. Thanks for hanging out. If you're still there, Gary. Shit, maybe, John, maybe? Or Echo, I don't know. Even if not, thanks, guys. Always cool. Okay. So, maybe it would be best, actually, to go back and just go through this playlist I made, or this thread, maybe a couple others. This is fucking insane. Oh my god. I was watching this guy's YouTube account. On deep under sea, Atlantic Ocean. This is, I think, around the mid-ocean ridge region, where there's these layers with these pillars. I'm like, dude. Maybe it's just like much larger scale like that. Maybe less void and water, but maybe not. Where there's like gaps. And he said something like, it's really lots of curious things about like water and heat and how the lava interact in the settings where it's able to not interact with the water by creating like a film of gas around it from just vaporizing the water. So it's like in certain instances behaves less pillow lava-y, or maybe that is how the pillow lava is happening. I think it was more related to this that I was talking about though, which isn't really a pillow lava at all. It's like dripped. And then there's like these kinds of things. Makes me think of the magnetic anomaly where the 8.8 happened. Super cool. And then this. Looking a lot like the chakras here. With like openings. Opening there. Like a vent out the top. This one I guess isn't currently venting, it looks like. That's out the center, I think. It even looks like it might like narrow down here in a similar way. Certainly not this identical shape, but it even has like tiers and things, and then like downward striation type shapes. Oh. A message delivered by artillery. IDF's plan to relocate. Ultimately, firing artillery shells, which send the clearest message to residents that they must evacuate. Can you fucking imagine? You're sitting around, and then there's fucking artillery going off, and the rest of the world is like, it's totally fine that someone is trying to flock you into a ditch to be buried and build golf courses over top your home. They use it as an actual method? Oh yeah, Yellowstone was fucking, like, doing some stuff. Can I open it? I'm so high, dude. I guess I didn't realize how high I got. I haven't really been smoking as much because I'm feeling, like, ill. It didn't seem, the doctor was like... Usually they don't say anything when I tell them I smoke weed. They're like, okay, you know, I don't, whatever. He's like, oh, you shouldn't do that. It's like messes with the things in certain ways. I don't know. I don't know. But he was more like, hey dude, stop being a dumbass. You fucking know. You've done enough of that. Maybe this too. That's probably far enough. So these ones in Wyoming. So this is what we're kind of doing with my newly titled, whatever I called it, magnetic earthquakes? Magnetic earthquakes. I don't know what to call it. But magnetic earthquakes. I thought for something where I just like abruptly talk about earthquakes, maybe I could make a new series if I'm going to keep doing it. Just in case. Maybe I don't do them all the time, but... that way I'll just have like a name for it. So that's what that was. But two of them happened like pretty 3.7. Like, I mean, it's not that much, but it's like 3.7. No one's really talking about it. It's like right there. Like, so I looked at it. I'm like, 2 earthquakes near Yellowstone. I mean, it's not really like anything about Yellowstone particularly as much as like what it kind of points to in terms of relationships and why Yellowstone is where it is. and what it is and many things. In Mammoth, Wyoming, the earthquakes. Comparing their location to magnetic anomalies, their location is generally where multiple margins meet. Here and here, which I drew like this, strongly indicating undercurrents intersect here because there's an earthquake, and just generally that there's Yellowstone there, and that the Bighorn Mountain magnetic anomaly is high intensity, so it acts like a wall over here, so it kind of makes a container where the intersecting currents are happening that then leads to a like magma chamber kind of observation, probably something like that's going on, where it's just kind of like pressures hold the magma there because currents are constantly flowing to it and around it. But it's not like eruptive because it's not able to push through the resistance, but sometimes it does have like turbulence-ish things happening in the pressures of it all that actually lead to earthquakes and maybe point to that it could erupt. Although, I mean, from that kind of analysis, it almost seems like it needs the force behind it to erupt. It's not just gonna like arbitrarily erupt. It's just a weak point that can erupt. And probably tends to hold like the volume so that it doesn't escape to lower pressure surroundings as easily as it would without like a container. Maybe this is the kind of acting as a container, or deeper, depending on exactly the systems at play, but it's definitely related. Then there seems to be, my interpretation is a downward current this way related to the Rocky Mountain Trench that then also relates to Sage Wall and Gem Lake and other things, and the Rockies, just the Rockies in general and their formation, especially over here in the Laramide orogeny. But then where it like kind of branches off, and some of it can follow like an outer margin, which maybe even goes earlier to like shortcut across this way and rejoin over here, but it takes a wider path this way to go out there, and generally follows along like a main conduit, like a road, where currents especially flow in these ways, while there's other currents flowing up north-south, but related to other flows. This one's coming from the south-north this way. There's also north to south interacting, but so it kind of suggests that earthquake there kind of suggests it's related to pressures from Kamchatka, which is not the best sign, honestly, because I don't know if here we go. Oh no, I didn't post it. Here it is. Here's kind of from some other aspects of the Mendocino. Okay, so let's find it over here. This is where we were just following down this way and across here. And notice there's like a quick sidestep, so like down below it's going left and above it's going right. It's like a 2-lane highway kind of thing. At boundary interactions of current flows that are moving through regions, but then boundaries of their interactions move faster because it's at the margins. But then following it back, was actually, this is the main route to Yellowstone and Bighorn. So let's look at it here, I guess. So one route in, here's Bighorn, here's basically Yellowstone is in like this void area here with the surrounding, in that general area. And then it's got this margin that kind of flows here to it though, that then if we follow it back goes to, I think this is the Mendocino fracture zone, which then if we follow it back goes to Hess Rise, and then if we follow it up it goes over back to basically Kamchatka. And in some of my other posts I talked about how my interpretation, there's an outlier earthquake that happened like right here in the magnetic anomalies, where it was an outlier relative to every other earthquake in like all of these. This one that then suggested like there were boundaries that were happening in the data regularly that pointed to a current flow generally passing through, running into resistance and leading to earthquakes along the way, but like revealing its behaviors, where one of the things was a anomalous earthquake out here that I essentially saw as a indicator of an outflow, that where it wasn't just flowing along this margin, it actually was flowing here, and some of it at least escaping outward. And where was it going from there? Some of it was flowing along that margin to Yellowstone, and possibly along like a further down margin, like off here and across. Although, and back. It's hard to say what direction to or fro it may be, but I guess from Kamchatka. Essentially, this earthquake at the 8.8, my interpretation, kind of allowed the surrounding pressures to open a path essentially into all of the Pacific. Like it's one big basin underneath, where when pressure needs somewhere to flow, sometimes it's the low pressure region. So there was a lot of pressure up here, and maybe at the North Pole in general, in the North Pole region, that then vented for whatever reason exactly it needed to vent, possibly because the Sand Point earthquake that was right here in the magnetic anomalies, that was just prior to all this happening, basically just before that one happened, which I interpreted current went up this way and ran into resistance and deflected over this way, while another current went across this way. Essentially, they were running into each other, and they kind of slipped, is how I was thinking was happening, which then essentially redirected more of a northward traveling current than westward, specifically up here though, where then it went over to Kamchatka region through generally here, where then it got like focused though down this path to go out here towards Japan, but getting a lot of resistance in Kamchatka region, probably because there's just pressure ahead too, like it just didn't have anywhere to flow over here, probably because there's flow out this way. Going across here, that's just applying a pressure. So it just could go this way if that flow was lower energy, but it was high energy enough that it generally encouraged it this way. Where my thought is, over time, it kind of like trickled down and took paths across, so there's like a bunch of earthquakes that were going on over here, and then it would flow like actually down through this region and over and down through here and get into this region where it basically shoot it across here again. But in that instance, it went to South America. And then it went, my thought is, essentially down and across, like straight across. Here's Kamchatka. Here's where this 8.8 was, right where this spike is, right here. If we just follow it like across along like an outer margin, pretty much. It's interesting, it's kind of at that outer margin. Just generally following it, maybe not at the angle that they rise to, but following it back and using generally here then as a path. Like it points over here where this fracture in the ocean crust kind of cuts over and then up, like it's being pushed. So it's like where a pressure point is, as if currents over here are doing something that I actually talked about in a post. So maybe I should go back to these posts. So let's check out this one. Curious aspect of the last 24 hours of earthquakes. Like a general pressure flows from Kamchatka through Japan. So in this instance, not venting, because it can only vent so much because it fills with pressure. And then going this way instead. But then it's still like it needs to go somewhere else, so it goes sideways because I guess my thought is there's pressure this way, flowing this way as a counter flow that this flow is running into, and the two of them, or maybe this is more of like a solid, just like wall of resistance than a flow, and this is a flow, so one is more just like holding resistance because it doesn't really have the earthquakes that a flow would suggest. So maybe that, but then it runs into it, and it seems to generally prefer flowing along straight paths, like it's literally running into resistance and deflecting, and in some instances kind of bowing out in the arc of the progression here, specifically going into here and wrapping up, sometimes even going like short-circuiting around there, but then going down through and leading to like it tries to go up, but it can't go. It can only go so far before it runs into pressures of flows down. There's like, oh my god, of like literally flowed down. That's flowing down this way. It's kind of like holding, almost like one of those like air. I don't know what I'm thinking of. What are the freaking like measurement device that has like different levels of some like a liquid? Measurement device. Different levels liquid. I feel like there's pressure though. It's probably like pressure. It's for pressure. Maybe it's not a device. is a gauge, I guess. I don't know, something like this. Something like this is going on, where there's a force downward and another force downward around an arcing region. And they're kind of in like this flow. Let me go here. It's coming down this way into the Arabian Sea on this side, and running into a counter current going up this way. So also that same like hand looking structure basically reaching up to there and holding it, where then current deflects sideways and goes each way. And then some of it though ends up going across this way, and like a pressure through here happens. I'm not sure if it's really visible in the magnetic anomalies as much as on the satellite imagery, besides like this, that there's a relationship to up here. But there's certainly a relationship over here, so maybe, I'm not sure how it flows. It might be that it flows across here and just like runs down some of it, but then what can't go down goes sideways. So it's kind of like a pressure downward, but then over here flows go down this way and run into resistance here, where they manage to get through to over here somehow. It's hard to say exactly how they get here, with like resistance here, but it seems like they get over here, possibly flowing down this way and going around like that in some manner. It's hard to say without better data or more filled in data. But essentially, where it seems like a lot of the time, there's a flow that goes in here, it runs into resistance and goes sideways, and then goes sideways this way, so maybe it goes down through here and reaches into this region, and maybe even kind of feeds an eddy in this area. Not sure if there would still be an eddy. Something where it essentially can shoot across here and go across here, but like through here, and then essentially following across to here to here, which is where a bunch of earthquakes happened. Let's find a post and just keep going. Also, there's this one in Guayaquil, which is why I was kind of looking at it. Guayaquil being what I call the secondary mantle puncture hole. Over here, and directly adjacent, basically, is this other earthquake, which got me kind of looking a little closer. I'm like, okay, well, this margin, even though it doesn't like point at it, it bends at it, and it's a pretty major margin up here. It goes over and then bends down and just follows down there, with different, interestingly, going across, and then there's an opening. Go across, there's this thing, goes across, presumably an opening, opening. So there's these like sides of this straight path though, where there's a bunch of openings, which initially I was just like, huh, but as I thought about it more, I'm like, oh, ew. So let's see, there was also another similar magnitude earthquake of 4.9 magnitude that occurred near Guayaquil, similar to the other ones that maybe these ones. These are all very similar. I don't know which ones. That's Turkey over there, 4.1. But they're all generally like 4.4. I think it was higher than most of them. There was a 5. That wasn't Kamchatka, but it was generally in this area. I mean, I'm not sure if it's one of these though. One of them, but most of them were lower than 4.9, but it's still similar. And then here's the flame. 2 core. This is an old picture. I was noticing I had a lot of stuff I still agree with, like way back when I first looked. I'm like, dude, I didn't know I was fucking hitting shit then too. Like that would stick so well when I first started looking at this. It's like it immediately freaking all popped out, I guess. It just took a while to really go through it. I don't even know. It's like a daze. Oh my lord. And then just kind of showing the flame here with like flame boundaries. And then a trail, like the heat rising, which then cut across to Africa's Bangui, I think it's Bangui, magnetic anomaly here. And then here's where those earthquakes were, that, right here. And so my thought was, it looks like this margin really matters because the earthquakes basically start at it and then go along this margin. So it suggests something's flowing this way, running into resistance and turning, but causing a bunch of earthquakes here as it turns. And then it's kind of stabilizing as it goes, so it's not creating earthquakes as much. And then flowing over here, maybe getting out through South America, so it's not really as noticeable. Also, some of it going through over there. Seems, so like a bunch of earthquakes there, seems like it just kind of goes right through. And it ends up going over here, where maybe it's interacting with other currents. So it's running into resistance. And then I added some lines around. I'm like, okay, there's this margin down to basically here, and then dot 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 over here there's a straight line, and then kind of like maybe a bit more blue across there, and then a straight line that points right at generally the secondary mantle puncture hole and where the earthquake was. So I thought this line seems related, this line, so it's almost like flow is flowing generally across through like a center band, like a bone, and then like flesh in the arm of like a flow that's kind of flowing, and then like having hands, maybe a trident even, I don't know, but does look kind of trident like actually, huh? One up here, down below. But so essentially, this overall to me suggested that there's a broader current flow that is generally flowing at boundaries in a way that it then focuses to along one end and along another to then collide, and that ended up leading to this earthquake where flows were trying to get through. It's also down here. Maybe this is kind of like the end of where it can flow through as easily, and maybe it wants to even go down a drain. I don't know. Or go that way. But then also these, that's right, the red I was showing, these kind of look like they just cut through, literally. So like, if not for these cutting through, this flow, everything else identical. This flow, somehow everything else identical. If not for this cutting through, this flow would create more of a like solid wall, but because they're cutting through, they must have been like higher energy currents, kind of like the fracture zones of Mendocino and so on up there. I don't know what that one is, but and it's like at the edge of this structure too. At its low point generally. It's almost like a far point opposite to this. It wasn't that, it was a 4.9. These ones I believe are more maybe that was one 4.4. But so following it back, I saw, well, there's kind of, I did a lot of this thing where I'm like pulling back, almost like letting my eyes, like one of those things that have to fade in. And I'm like, well, there's a margin generally, just like there. Like just generally something going on there. Maybe not as defined as other places, but it's there. That seems to kind of wrap around if I go like this. Maybe even wrap around something like that. No. It's like a eddy that was happening. I don't know. What is this? Oh. What did I do? Oh, yeah. Okay. Here's another Mendocino one. Those ones. There. So you see it coming in and then turn. Quake along resistance. And then if we follow this back further though, so like the main band here that goes across and then down and then right to the edge where those quakes were. If we follow that back, and then also if we follow this like lower but inner one that then generally connects back to this parallel one, and just follow the parallel one. So this parallel one and this one. If we just follow those back, it really points like across this thing basically to over here, which then points generally over at the spray nozzle region of Australia, suggesting like the Ammonite region, like this region is kind of just spraying pressure across. And like even now, just like as if this is not there almost, like right through it all, at least pressure wise, to then influence over here and create earthquakes over there, as if it's like from a spray nozzle or something, like a shower head or something. Also, I found this really interesting. I think it was the video. This guy. He said the Pacific he said the Atlantic is growing slower than the Pacific, but the Pacific is growing at about the rate that human hair grows. I'm like, dude. Shiva? The angel and the trident and dancing Shiva. Where his hair is growing and draping down and like going through here even, like, but like growing in a way where it's like growing at the rate of human hair, at least in scientific interpretation. I found that quite curious. Like a cool relationship. So there's a 7.0 down here. This region, when I saw this one, and some other Australia stuff, this, where there's volcanism, 19 million volcanism, 3 million, so it's moving back down this way, kind of towards over here. And here's my relating it to my research in some ways, aka just including some images. But I thought, what if it like kept going and it's like over here, like the interaction has moved? I mean, it's pointing at Kamchatka. Like this volcanism, I guess this is it. Totally. Let's see, like a pressure point, a half circle, like half an ammonite. That then has a spine back this way, like what? Whoa. Whoa. Okay, so I still haven't really talked about the thing that happened today. It's also letting it kind of develop to see if anything else happened afterwards. Here's some other stuff, and also related to this. Specifically what I'm about to come up to, where that flow across, we're still looking at that flow across, but now I'm just like, it looks like in general the flow across is definitely related to this like bend in the fracture here, where it arcs over and then kind of cuts over. But then let's look at the actual map. We follow it here. It kind of fades out, so it definitely does something like that. But it also goes through here, and then we see it kind of back here. And it definitely takes multiple paths, but we can see like this arc here, an arc up here, so we can kind of imagine it connecting here, back down here, and I think it's in the data. Like I think I'm not just like talking out of my ass here. Like it connects. It's kind of like not visible just looking at this per se, but it looks like it literally connects like through to here, but takes multiple paths where it's like further and connects over to the Mendocino one. And maybe even if we take it out further, we can kind of see and it go out there. Maybe even see it kind of going further and across to there, to that one. I don't know about that one. If so, it's super subtle. I don't know. Like it would have been like overprinted like crazy. I can totally see like a band though. Pardon me. But then we see outer band there that seems related. Interesting. That's where Hawaii is. Totally was an eddy here, like a big ol' one. Big ol' one there. Where basically current flows from over here going down, like ran into the eddy, so they almost like followed specifically this way to around this corner here, where they then like waterfalled kind of down over here to this place, and then ran along this way, and now that's where the Drake Pass one was. So that's why I think they're super related. 7.4 that happens over here, and then it starts going across. making its way through all the resistance, but like, or just region. Maybe not resistance because there's not like earthquakes happening along the way, but just lower pressure regions building up higher pressure and just pushing through it until it actually get exhausted. And just went over here, and then the energy kind of got focused along a margin. Maybe I'm just spitballing here, and ran like to a squeeze point where there's a lot of compression of currents, and it just couldn't take it, so it nova'd practically, like a freaking explosion of the energy's all coming together and nowhere to go, so they just explode in violently in a way that's like an earthquake in that case. More energetic one. Let's go back to one day. One day more. Oh, 5.1 aftershock. Dude. This one was yesterday. Couple, maybe 5 hours apart. Hour after aftershock. Let's see where Kamchatka shows up. Sandpoint, Sandpoint. I really don't know if it was happening. I guess, let's say, instead of doing that. Yeah. It really wasn't happening. Nothing was going on. Kind of like Drake Passage. That's what I was checking. Not much at play, kind of like Drake Passage. And then 20. What did I do that made it so bad? I don't know if this is the first one. Let's see. Definitely not. Definitely was not the first one, okay. So it's probably not gonna like mirror it in like a really obvious way. But I was thinking maybe it will mirror it in a 8.8 mirrored kind of way. Let's see, so then we got current going also up there. Real quick to see what else we got here. I guess the interwebs is not working very well right now for me. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I should probably go anyway. Well, maybe it's not working. So, I guess I should go. Alright then. In that case. I guess it's still working. I don't know. They might have just cut all my streams out. That sucks. So then flowing back, but then with the waterfall thing I drew there, where it's like almost top of a hill and then falls off the hill into a ground, like low level that it runs along in a almost two-dimensional picture kind of way of a rather than sideways because it's on the ground. Even though it's on the ground, it's flowing like it's a waterfall, like in a picture. Relating to flows going across here from mantle puncture hole region, going across that way, to then go down, go up and over. Probably go up to even further somewhere. I don't know. And then it kind of looks like a flower that's being watered by that flow from above. Flow from, which has got me thinking about hot and cold a lot, really. And I saw something about the Mariana Trench where it's got like mud volcanoes, and it's like one side of the trench is almost like a mud volcano and the other is like a hot magmatic. So that like when the mud volcano interacted with it, it led to normal volcanoes or something. I forget exactly, but something where it gave me the impression that there's like a mixing of hot and cold in this process, and one is like tied to the North Pole, one is tied to the South Pole, and it's almost like raining from above and growing a more like solid southerly like base, like solid resistant mass that's more able to perform some like solid mass function of like resistance. But then also, not to be undone, is the carrot or the rabbit, which I didn't even notice until just now. Bunnies. I love bunnies. Dog with a baby and a bunny in the mouth. Like, I just wanted to protect it. It's kind of like the Mariana Trench too, the way it bows out. It made me think it's like ultimately related, which it kind of is. I mean, generally is. Mariana Trench over here being related to flows that flow from over here and go down and across and reach to it and push into resistance. So those, but also this flow across here. So like generally just Asian flows and creating a like pressure through over here. Crazy, man, crazy. But I just noticed this in a similar way. So we got that bow out that way, and then a bow out the opposite way. I was like, huh. A similar way. Let's look at my website. here, going this way, and going back. So it's like here goes up and goes out and left. Out to the right, and then bends left, generally at Galapagos. At the focal point region here that used to be, essentially over here, and then spread this whole region spread. But this point used to be over there, but whereas arcing through there and going left. Whereas some of it went right, and it seems like it arced left and went right through that way. Possibly through here even. Hard to say exactly. But through... Whoa. It looks like there could be freaking earthquakes here. I'm surprised there's not earthquakes here. Like, what? Sometimes I think, why aren't there earthquakes here? Yeah. Florida. Oh my god, a fucking earthquake. The whole thing sinks. And it's a sinkhole. Fuck. Whole thing's a sinkhole. Who'd have thunk it? Like, this whole thing, like, all here or something. I don't fucking know. Just sinks in. Oh, Lord. Well. One day. I always play that song. I like it. One day. Oh, man. I played that video, holy shit. People gonna be like, I don't know. This is the kind of shit. Probably a real person, although I'm really pissed at if. I mean, when you literally are not fucking getting food. $15 for a Snickers bar. Oh my lord. Literally in a fucking ditch already. With a ditch in front of them. Where the fuck is it? What is the? Oh my god! What he could fit in the subway he built? Oh my lord! Oh man. I built a freaking escalator. Whoa. Oh man. A robot. God's arriving. Oh shit. Oh. Oh my god. I'm just envisioning like a fully functional cat metro. They fucking use it over time. They're like, ah, nothing's here but us. It's probably rats. Oh my god, these fucking guys are retarded. How do they send them packing and not fucking arrest them on the spot? Oh, okay. This is. I thought they meant the Linwood cops. This is just good Samaritans. They're like, what the fuck are you doing? Oh. Oh no, puppy, nightmare. Alright, dudes. Oh. Wait. Oh, the cat train? Oh my god. Holy shit. I mean, that's cool though. You probably learned a lot of skills, I guess. Got to make a YouTube video that was so ridiculous it probably got pretty good traction, although realistically it probably got most of the views by like not his account. So really whoever I just watched got a lot of views probably, since that's how it got to me. It probably had a lot of views. And that's kind of the shitty part of it all. I don't know what I was just even looking at. I wasn't even watching that. Oh my god. They started hitting them. Oh my god, they're so fucking Nazis. It's Babylon, dudes. Fucking straight up. That's a Babylonian flag. That ain't no Israeli flag. See, it says fuck Israel. What did Israel ever do? It's Babylon. That's who you're talking about. That's who it is. Israel? That's just what they call themselves. It's convenience. It's not. It's not so. Oh my fucking. I gotta stop. Okay, I should probably go actually. I should go before I just sit here scrolling with too much time on my hands. I mean, seemingly. Yeah, so I'm thinking, I mean, long story short, maybe. I guess if it's gonna happen somewhere, Drake Passage might be a half decent spot. Unless it like fucking rips the earth open or something. And the earth is ripping open. Oh, good. I don't know that it. I'm just. I mean, it doesn't even necessarily have to be the 30th. Like, if it were to be even at all, like 8.7 plus kind of, or 8.5 plus, something that like is close enough to 8.8 that it suggests the energies did propagate. Since we had a 7.4 and a 7.5, those have similar enough where it's like, okay, and it even looks like it picked up momentum from this waterfall kind of energy propagation that it took to get over there, because it probably isn't just like truly just a straight line kind of thing. But I mean, it makes sense if there's like an energy release over here, and there's flow here, and flow this way, and flow going up this way though, two, and something going on along this path. That's possibly goes back like that way. Also, it's kind of like a mess now. I'm just trying to think. This one's kind of hard to explain exactly what's happening. I think it is because it kind of does something more like this. But essentially the reason I'm thinking about that is because largely the pressure from here seems to not go this way. Although it does seem like it can vent through there some, and maybe even occasionally over here. But also through here, definitely through here. Like the fault region. Whatever, the boundary. There can be earthquakes that are kind of like venting the pressures that are flowing down here, but I'm not even sure if that wouldn't ultimately end up at Drake Passage unless it's going this way. So even if it creates an earthquake, maybe it ultimately ends up going to Drake Passage. The energy, like it runs into resistance, earthquake, and then keeps going, but it didn't actually like reduce the overall volume of material that was flowing into here. It just kind of maybe led to some reduction in overall subsequent flow in, or due to like running into resistance, but ultimately making it over here, that totally makes sense. Okay, I'm really rambling. Okay, thanks guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks Gary, thanks Tetra, Ramatana. Don't know if I got your name, but thanks.